They call him Seatin, the man of legends.
Hey guys, what is up? It is Seatin here. Hello and welcome to an exclusive first look at the new Rogue Healing Soul coming in patch 2.7, known as the Physician. Now this video is going to be explaining a bit about how the soul works, the kind of mechanics behind it, and of course showing off lots and lots of really cool Physician gameplay in some expert dungeons and some raids. So just as a reminder guys, this is on the PTS. It's still a soul heavily in development, and it may change quite a bit in the upcoming weeks, so do not be surprised if the current, what you're seeing at the moment, doesn't all make it live, or stuff changes, or stuff gets added. That is very normal. So just, something to be aware of, guys. So the way that Daglar has described the Physician is kind of like the anti-assassin. So for those of you familiar with the Ref Souls, the way that Assassin works is it delivers quick bursty damage to quickly burst down targets. Now the Physician does the opposite. It delivers quick bursty heals to quickly top up members of your party in raid. And it does this extremely effectively. Literally, there is so much single target burst healing in this build, it is crazy. What the Physician, however, really lacks on at the moment is Aoe Healing. Now, there are a variety of ways you actually can heal in the Physician's Soul, but none of them feel terribly smooth and enjoyable like it does, for example, on the Liberator Warrior. Now, one thing that you can do is you can toggle on a buff known as Alternative Treatment. This causes all Physician combo generating heals and absorbs to affect up to 5 party or raid members, but are 50% less effective. However, having this on reduces your energy regeneration rate by 5 per second, which is quite a significant amount. So basically, if you have this toggled on, your energy regeneration rate is just mind-numbingly slow, and you go on energy very quickly. This is one of my general gripes with the build. Like, there's a lot of energy hindering stuff on a already extremely energy starved build. Now, this is what I really don't like about the Physician at the moment, the energy starving and how that's handled. Like on the Warrior, it feels so smooth because you always have energy and you can deal with every situation, but it kind of takes the fun out of it when you're just constantly going on energy on a rogue. I mean, sometimes you regen it back fairly quickly, but like everything is so bloody expensive heal-wise. Now, I do understand this does add a slight element of skill to the class, but there are other ways to do it without being constantly energy starved, and I hate that the build constantly energy starves you on even the basic simple rotation. It doesn't feel right to me. Now, saying that, you do actually have an ability called Adrenaline Shot, which instantly recovers 50 energy, and this has a 20-second cooldown. But in all honesty, there are enough buttons to press with this build already, and you're pretty much going to have to hit this thing off cooldown to keep up. So I'd much prefer if, they removed this ability and just added in like a passive reduction on the amount of energy certain abilities cost, but that is just my personal opinion. I mean, some people will, advocate that it should be energy starved, but for me, personally, it's not an enjoyable way to play a spec, and I just don't think it works well as a rogue healer. Okay, so now I've had my small miscellaneous energy ran, on to the real kind of meaty stuff of the build. What's it all about? Now, mainly the way that this build works is that it's kind of all about finishes and non-combo point generating abilities that deliver the majority of your healing. For example, you have 2 abilities that heal for a shitload, but they don't generate combo points. Those are Urgent Care, so this is a quick heal which restores a large amount of health and has a 6-second cooldown and only costs 24 energy and is instant as well. And you also have Emergency Response, which is, it basically restores 100% of the rogue's maximum health to the target and also gives the target a small shield. Now, these are 2 very quick healing abilities that you can just quickly nip off on a target, but they don't give you any combo points. The real strongest single target heals that a rogue has seem to come from the combo points generated. Now what you have is there are a total of 4 different finishes for single target healing. Now there's Maintenance Therapy, which restores a large amount of health and also gives the target a hot for 6 seconds. There is Group Therapy, which gives the whole raid a hot for 15 seconds. There is Pre-Emptive Therapy, which gives the target shield absorbing damage, and this has a 15-second cooldown. So in a way, the Preemptive Therapy kind of acts like a Purifier Shield would, and shields for about the same amount as a Purifier Shield would. And finally, you have Massive Therapy, which is an absolutely huge single target ability that consumes up to 5 combo points, and when it consumes 5 combo points and you get a 5 combo point heal off, it heals for just truckloads. Literally, I think I was getting like something stupid like 40k crits on my live gear, which is really sucky, guys. Now, pure healing wise, there are kind of 3 ways to build combo points. You have Active Treatment, which is an instant bursty heal, which awards 1 combo point. Expectant Treatment, which is a small shield that lasts 10 seconds and awards combo point. Literally, it is a pretty damn small shield, but if the tank is fully topped, I suppose it is the thing to use, or a raid member is fully topped and they are predicting damage, then you may want to use it on them. And the final thing is Casual Treatment. Now this is a 2-second cast time that restores an extortionate amount of health and awards 2 combo points. Now the only thing I don't like about Casual Treatment is it kind of doesn't really fit in with the playstyle of the build. It feels like it's a bit out of place, because not only does the animation for it look like you're casting some sort of cleric spell, but also a 2-second cast time where you have to stand still feels very clunky in a build that's otherwise very fast paced and all about getting quick heals off. So it seems really weird and out of place, and I personally don't like it, and it's one of the things that it's another one of my sort of small gripes with the spec. I really don't like the fact that they have this ability, which is going to be like the best way to heal and generate combo points, and essentially you're going to have to stand still and spam it like a cleric, and it feels like it takes a lot away from the build. You know, it's just my personal opinion, so yeah, do with that what you will. One really cool thing about rogue healing that warriors don't really have is they have a toggled ability called Pandemic, which basically causes all of their attacks to heal up to 4 party members. So as you can imagine, this is going to be pretty damn awesome for experts. What you basically do is there are kind of 4 different damaging abilities, but only, well, 3 of them will heal party members. Now there's Surgical Strike, which is basically a standard ranged shot. It will deal weapon damage and heal the party for a small amount. There is also another builder ability called Medicinal Leeching. Now this deals and heals damage over 8 seconds, so you will definitely want to keep this up if you're planning to do healing via damage. And finally there is a finisher ability known as Plasma Strike, which deals additional earth damage per combo point and restores health to the rogue, and if you have Pandemic on, will restore health to up to 5 party members, including yourself. Now I like that they've added this in. This means if you want to do a bit of DPS and also, you know, keep up the healing on a very sort of casual basis, you can do that. You're able to toggle that on. Now the only 2 things that kind of annoy me about this Pandemic buff, and also sort of dealing damage to heal as a rogue, is that firstly, the damage just isn't that great at all. It just doesn't feel like you're really hitting the numbers out of the park, or just really doing much to contribute to the fight if you're DPSing. It's not like, for example, Chloromancer, where you can dish out like 20k Nature's Touches, or a Sentinel where you can, you know, overheal 30k and do like a 30k Wrathful Exuberance. It's kind of just like 1k 400 hits, and it's not very good. And I do believe that it would be a lot more fun if the damage was slightly higher, but also sort of leading into another gripe that I have is just so energy stuffed, because Pandemic as well reduces your energy regeneration rate, as well as the other buff that I was on about earlier, known as Alternative Treatment. So basically you're constantly energy starved even when you're trying to DPS, and it's just not fun at all. I hate being energy starved, and it's one thing that really puts me off playing a rogue or warrior, when I know that I'm playing a spec that's constantly sort of gagging for energy and needs more of it. So, you know, that really needs to be looked at, the energy and also the damage. They could both use a bit of love. So just going on to the final ability, which I don't know if it has any use inside raids. Basically, it's an ability called Mass Blood Transfusion, and it deals damage to enemies, up to 5 of them, and heals the rogue for like 1,500 health for each enemy hit, and allows movement, which is really cool. But the self-healing on this is bloody insane. Like, it heals you for ridiculous amounts. Unfortunately, it's not affected by any of the Aoe healing abilities, like Pandemic or Alternative Treatment, but it just heals for so much. Literally, you can pull everything in a Chronicle and just stay alive, but it doesn't do any DPS, so nothing dies at all. So I haven't found a practical use for it yet, but it's pretty damn cool. So the final thing I want to talk about are two kind of buffs that you place on players. Now, these can only be placed on one player at a time, and they are Supportive Care and Simultaneous Treatment. Basically, you put your buff on this player, and this means whenever you use a finisher, this player gets a shield or a heal. Now, Supportive Care gives the target a shield whenever you use a finisher, and Simultaneous Treatment gives the target a heal whenever you use a finisher. So basically, you just slap these on the tanks or a target that needs additional healing. At its heart, Physician is all about bursty, quick, single target healing, getting people topped up. So it's really a tank healer. The AoE is just not sustainable. It's not bursty enough to like cover a raid healing duties. It's all about topping people up. Physician will be great for tank healing. It will be really good. It's kind of like a very nice niche between Sentinel and Purifier, but if you're looking for a new raid healer, Physician is just not the one at the moment. But for tank healing, it's got its shit right. It needs a bit more love, but it'll get there. Thank you once again for watching, guys. A reminder that Physician is in its early stages and will change quite a bit. I am going to be doing a lot more on the Physician and all of the new souls in upcoming videos, and I'd really appreciate you guys commenting what you want to see. There is currently one plan for me going over all the abilities and the VFX associated with them and talking about what they do, and also one going over the soul trees and talking about hybrids and all that kind of cool stuff. But any other requests or anything, please do leave them in the comments below, and I'll get round to having a look at them and seeing what I can do for you guys, because it's all about you guys at the end of the day. I'm just here to make videos and sound like a noob on my microphone. Thank you once again for watching. If you could like the video, I would appreciate that. If you could subscribe, I'd appreciate that even more. Lots of appreciation going on there. If you could don't follow me on Twitter. I'm bored on Twitter. Like, I don't tweet anything interesting. But yeah, guys, take care. Have a good day.